to Spotlight. I'm your host, Amitha. Join us weekly to get inspired by guests and their success stories. The well being of every individual counts towards creating a healthy and vibrant community. Organizations that focus on this key point are essential for the progress of society. Today, we'll be talking about one such organization. Its vision is to promote physical, mental, and social health and well being of all individuals, to empower communities with education, and to alleviate poverty. It's with pleasure I welcome to our show the CEO and Director of Clinical Services at South Asian Canadians Health and Social Services, in short, SACS, Dr. Maher Hussain. Welcome, Dr. Hussain, to our show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me in the show.
So we are very grateful that your organization is providing a lot of services for the community. But first of all, let's find out a little bit more about you. Tell us a little bit more about your growing up and your educational background.
So my background and my educational background, I am from India, from Chennai, Madras. The name for the place, the old name was Madras, the new name is Chennai, from South India. My background is I am a psychiatrist, mental health specialist from India. I did my MD psychiatry from Madras Medical College in Chennai in India, and I was working as a psychiatrist, as a professor of psychiatry at Institute of Mental Health, Kilpak Mental Hospital, as we call it, in Madras, Chennai. It's one of the biggest psychiatric hospital in India. Then I was involved in research in mental health, addiction, and related fields. So I was involved in research. Then I got one American government scholarship called Hubert Humphrey Fellowship. So under scholarship, I went to Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore in United States. On the scholarship, I did my fellowship on substance abuse and also my Master of Public Health from the Department of Mental Health at Johns Hopkins University. So that's how I came here to North America. I came to USA for on the scholarship. Then I got some opportunities here at Canada, so I moved to Canada from USA.
Amazing. So you have experience from the East and the West as well. So congratulations. So how has your journey been in Canada thus far with your profession?
Can you repeat it, please?
So how has your professional journey been thus far in Canada?
So my professional journey, it has been very good. So in USA, in Canada, I work here as a mental health specialist and a mental health consultant. So I was working in different organizations. Then we got this organization, South Asian Canadians Health and Social Services. It's a not-for-profit charity organization, and we are a team of professionals from South Asian countries, and our team include psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, and other professionals from mental health and also from healthcare field and social work and social services field. So I am the Chief Executive Officer and Clinical Director for this organization. We have been providing services for health education, health promotion, mental health, addiction, and also related services such as stress management, anger management, healthy living. These are some of the services we provide. So it's a very satisfying professional journey and fulfilling also, providing care and services for people who are in need.
Absolutely. It's much needed in Canada and, of course, globally too. So we are so grateful that this is functioning in the community. So it sounds like it's a multidisciplinary team in action at SACS. Before we get to that in detail, coming back to your experience, your expertise as a psychiatrist and somebody who has also a focus on addiction, given that you have had experience both in the Indian healthcare system and in the North American healthcare system, I would like you to comment a little bit about what's good, what's bad, how can experiences from both systems come together to deal with our current crisis with mental health and addiction in Canada?
Yeah, so it's one of the persons who have the opportunity of working in both the systems, having worked in system in India and now working in the system in Canada. So like everything else about the systems, they have their own good things and bad things. First, I will start with the Indian system, then I'll talk with the Canadian system. So in India, in healthcare system in India, one thing is for poor people, they do go to this the government hospitals, but government hospital they provide good services. They all have good staff, good services, and highest professionally qualified people. But at the same time, there is overcrowding because of high levels of population in India. There is overcrowding and lack of infrastructure. So because of this, the government healthcare system, people who make use of the government healthcare system is mostly poor people who don't have means to go to private hospitals. But yeah, but in India, it's a very huge sector, and they do provide good services to the very huge sector of poor people in villages, rural areas, and also in urban areas. Also, they do provide very good services. The only thing is lack of infrastructure and overcrowding. They have to be in a long lineup. Those are some of the things. And also another thing is because of lack of resources, the infrastructure, the hospitals and the buildings, they are not very neat and they are not very clean. They are not well maintained because of this overcrowding and lack of resources. But still, they do provide very valuable services to a very huge sector of population, especially poor people and people who cannot afford the private healthcare system. But the problem is with the people with the middle income. Healthcare system has become very expensive, and a lot of people, it's very difficult for them to afford the private healthcare system. At the same time, they are also very hesitant to access the government public healthcare system. So that's a big, huge gap in the healthcare system there. People, they have to go through all their savings and get into debt for affording healthcare for the big middle income group. And of course, the people who are in the higher income group and in the higher levels of society, they do have enough money to afford everything. So it's not a problem for them. The poor people, they go to government hospital. It's the middle income, it's the middle sector, which is a big problem.
So there seems to be a gap. It sounds like there's a division based on the level of your income, your social status. So it sounds like that's what's happening in India. But we may have a better healthcare system here in Canada, or maybe we do have some disadvantages too. We'll get to that in a minute. But before that, it's time for a short break. Welcome back to Spotlight. We are talking to Dr. Maher Hussain, CEO and Director of Clinical Services at South Asian Canadians Health and Social Services. So we got to hear a little bit about the Indian healthcare system when it comes to mental health. So now, Dr. Maher, tell us about your experience in the Canadian healthcare system with regards to this.
Uh, yes, the Canadian healthcare system, as we all know, we have a very good and a very wonderful healthcare system here in Canada. So it's all, we have a world-class, very good healthcare system, all funded by the government. We have universal healthcare. So it's, but also another thing in Canada, what I find is we have a very good social support system, and people not only healthcare, people who are in care of health, who are in care of this healthcare needs, they are provided good social support as well to access the healthcare and to make use of the healthcare. For example, if a person is not able to do it, not able to, and he also given ODSP, Ontario Disability Support Program, and also for they need any special treatment or transportation, that's all provided, and also the home health care, community access care. People who are not able to travel to hospital and people who need to be cared at home, they provide home health care services all free under universal health care. The nurses, healthcare professionals, they all come to the home and take care of all the needs. So we have a very good healthcare system and very good social support system here in Canada. At the same time, there are some things which can be better. One thing is even though most of the things are covered under the universal health care, there are some things which are not covered, especially dental care. People have to pay. People who do not have benefits, people who do not have good income, then again it's difficult for them to get proper health care and treatment for the dental care. Sorry, it's difficult for them to get proper dental care and to meet all their dental care needs. Then again, again, another thing is the wait time. Sometimes if you need to see a specialist, it's not easy to get an appointment. There's a long wait time to see a specialist. And then again, for planned surgeries and for planned treatment, sometimes there's a wait list. If a person needs to have a surgery on the knee or knee replacement or something, then it's a planned surgery, planned treatment, then again there's a wait list. Whereas, and sometimes if a person goes to emergency, again there's a huge wait time. And these are some of the things we have to deal with here in Canada. But again, I would say overall we have a very good and very wonderful healthcare system and also very good social support system as well.
That's reassuring to know, because sometimes you hear about the frustrations from the public, about what some of the things that you just told us about. But if you look at the overall picture, we are doing pretty good. Now, if we come back to focus on services that are provided by SACS, so we heard a little bit, you gave us an idea about what SACS is about, the not-for-profit organization, and what kind of services it provides to the community. Now, if we come back to that and ask you, so how is it that SACS is playing an important role in maybe some of the frustrations caused by the Canadian healthcare system, whether it be related to physical, mental, or social health? How is SACS providing maybe a bridge of that gap?
Yes, SACS, it fills in a very big gap in the Canadian healthcare system. So our main services are mental health, addiction, and related services such as stress management, anger management, healthy living, these kind of programs. Again, for people with mental health issues, again, getting appointment from psychiatrists, it takes a while. And even when they have appointment with psychiatrists, they don't get enough time to spend in different kind of therapies. For example, cognitive behavior therapy and other regular programs such as stress management, anger management, those kind of related issues, because they have their own workload and they have to go by their own appointments, which can be once in 1 month or once in 3 months, sometimes even once in 6 months. So for those people with mental health issues, that's not enough. They do need, in addition to their medications, they do need regular counseling and regular therapy sessions, which helps a lot in their recovery. Without those things, their recovery may take very long time, may not be complete, and those things they create setbacks to the recovery. So our services, it's a not-for-profit charity organization, and we do get some funding from government and some other funding organizations, but still we keep applying for more fundings and grants to provide better services. And so what we do is we do frequent appointments, immediate appointments, frequent appointments, and we do give appointments even during the evenings and even during the weekends to help people. And also we do give yearly appointments, frequent appointments, so that people can get the counseling and therapy they need to overcome their issues. And also we also help people. Basically, our services are free. We do accept voluntary donations, but basically our services are free. And also we do provide services for people who do not have health cards and who do not have any proper status. So we help all those people. So we do fill in a big, huge gap ourselves and other not-for-profit charity organizations. We fill up that big need.
That's amazing. You definitely are part of that universal healthcare that is being provided by Canada, and our viewers who are watching us can now realize, yes, there are some disadvantages to the healthcare system. No system is perfect, but we have community leaders like you and with your organizations that can come in and fill those gaps. We will have a better healthcare system overall. So where can our viewers find information if they wanted to access your services? Where can you direct them in terms of getting more information?
Yes, people can visit our website, www.sacs.org. So I will repeat, www.sachss.org. They can get all the information about our organization there. And also people, they can call this number 647-718-0786. So when they call this number, they can get all the information, and they can also get immediate appointments as well. When someone calls us, we give them the information they need, and also we give them appointments. We do have group counseling programs, individual counseling programs, community outreach programs, and other programs. So when they call us, they can get started immediately, probably the same week, so that we try to get them started without waiting time.
That is great. So now viewers know where to find your services, and they know they're not alone. If they're stuck getting help, they can approach you. We have more to find out, but before that, it's time for a short break. Welcome back to Spotlight. We are talking to Dr. Maher Hussain, CEO and Director of Clinical Services at SACS. So thank you, Dr. Maher Hussain, for enlightening us about how SACS is providing a lot of services that is bridging that gap that might be present in our healthcare system. I'm going to come back to you as a community leader now. I know you are also part of, you mentioned in passing initially that you're part of many organizations. Can you highlight some of the other organizations that you are part of, that you provide your services to, your expertise to?
Yes. So I also go as a work as a mental health consultant, and a mental health specialist in different organizations as well. In addition, also we also work with other organizations. We network with other organizations also while providing our services. So the organizations I work with and network with is one is William Osler Health Center, Brampton Hospital. So we do get referrals from there, and also I do provide services there as well. And also another organization is Kelly's Place. They provide services for autism and other mental health issues in children and adults as well. Then another place is the Halton Recovery Home. They do provide services for the addiction issues, alcohol, drug addiction, and other addiction issues. And also, we also collaborate with the Sayyida Khatija Center for providing our mental health and other services as well. But these are some of the services we provide. And also another TMAC, Tamil Nadu Multicultural Association. We do network with them and we work with them also providing services. Another place where we provide services is regeneration outreach services. They do have a food bank and provide free food for people in need, and so we work with them and we provide services with them also. These are some of the places where I do go as a consultant and I work with them, also network with them, and we provide our services as well.
Wow, Dr. Maher Hussain, you have a lot on your plate. I mean, it sounds like you're in every sector of society wherever they need that help. Again, keyword being bridging that gap, being complementary to the healthcare and the social system that we have in Canada. I have to ask you, I mean, uh, we could easily take the easy way out, and be in our comfort zone and just assume somebody else will take on the role as a community leader and help the community progress. We could easily take that easy way out. What inspires you to give so much back to the community?
Yeah, it feels giving back to the community. Uh, it's a very good thing to do, which gives us happiness and satisfaction of giving it back to the community. When we have got so much from the community, it's when we help someone, it makes us happy. It makes us uh, uh, feel better that we are able to do something. So involved in community activities and charity activities. So it not only helps in helping the community, also it also gives us a sense of satisfaction and happiness that we are doing something to help the community and doing something which the community needs.
Well said. So it sounds like you're quite happy doing the work you're doing. So it's not really work, but I still have to ask you, what do you do to relax, like as an individual, to recuperate, take a break sometimes for yourself? What do you do?
So for me to relax, one thing I like is I like reading, especially at the end of the day, at the night. I do some reading before I go to bed. So reading it helps us to relax well. Then other things are listening to music. And again, yeah, as part of our programs, stress management and relaxation exercises, it's a very important part of our group counseling program and other programs. We do provide those services. People, when they have when we in our group counseling program, we also have sessions for relaxation. People, we do also give hands-on training. People, they learn relaxation exercises such as deep breathing exercise and meditation. They learn it, they practice it there so that they practice it every day at home. So I do practice those relaxation exercises as well, deep breathing and meditation. And then again, I do like traveling and also doing some exercises, spending time with family, going out with family. So these are some of the things I do to for my self-care and for my own relaxation, which I enjoy.
Amazing, amazing. So you practice what you preach, being the psychiatrist and the community leader that you are. And of course, our viewers, you need to check out. SACS has still been continuing to provide services during the COVID-19 restrictions, and they're also providing a lot of educational seminars. So hats off to SACS, hats off to you, Dr. Maher Hussain, and your team. Now, if you had any words of advice for our viewers, anybody out there, struggling with challenges in life or struggling just to reach their goals in life, do you have any words of advice for them?
So just one word of advice is we also do work with the legal system. Many people with mental health and addiction issues, they have legal they have legal problems, such as they are charged with issues such as drinking and driving, violence, domestic violence, and other alcohol and drug related charges, and anger and violence related charges. Most of them I find they don't spend enough time for relaxation. The stress keeps on building on them until they explode. So it's like we mentioned before, it's very important for them to spend some time on relaxation and relaxation exercises, so that it's very good for their mental health and physical health, and to have good relaxation that helps them to have a good healthy life, and also helps them to have good relationship with others, and to stay away from other issues such as stress, which can lead to mental health issues, physical health issues, anger, violence, alcohol, and drugs. So one thing is to have good relaxation and spend time on relaxation and relaxation exercises. Another thing is to be helpful to other people, is to help them. That way, their mind is diverted in positive things and not negative things. When people help others, it helps them a lot in having a good healthy life for themselves and others too.
Well said. Thank you very much, Dr. Maher Hussain, for coming on the show today, inspiring us with your journey and enlightening us about what you provide through SACS. We wish you all the best, and we will continue to follow your work.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for having me. It's nice meeting you and spending time with you. Thank you very much.
So that was Dr. Maher Hussain, who has inspired us today to take part in our community. And thanks to him for enlightening us about SACS. Well, that's a wrap for this week's show. Continue to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and write to us at spotlight@ethnicchannels.com. Until next week, this is Amitha signing off, encouraging you to be a part of your community.